guys, this is Ranjit and I'm at Xiaomi's India's headquarters in Bangalore with Mr. Murali, who is the President of Xiaomi India. And thank you, sir, for inviting me here. And I have some questions to Murali. We have seen, Mr. Murali, that Xiaomi now in the past couple of years, it's not, if you look at the history, it's just about 8 odd years, has become the top brand in smartphones in India. Can you talk a little bit about that? I have some other interesting questions also. So first, I want to hear about that.
Firstly, Ranjit, fantastic having this opportunity to have a chat with you. And please call me Murali. Everybody calls me Murali. That's when I feel most comfortable.
Okay.
But if I were to reflect on Xiaomi's 8-year journey in India, I'd say it's nothing short of a dream. Through these past 8 years, I think we've done a commendable job at this entire purpose of democratizing technology and making innovation accessible to everyone. And through a simple focus on delivering products with the best of specs, the highest quality and honest pricing. And just looking at the impact we've had on 4G, on Digital India, it's something that that fills us with a lot of pride.
Okay. And there is this Make in India. You guys make a majority of smartphones actually in India. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. Ranjit, actually, Make in India is maybe just one of the 4 components, at least if you ask me, of the ingredients of the secret sauce that made Xiaomi India what it is today. And maybe I'll let you into that secret a little bit. And I'll call out 4 specific elements, right? The first is just product itself. And I'll talk about the product. The second one is what I would say a fairly unique distribution strategy. The third is our focus on customer experience. And the fourth is our focus on making in India. And we've been making in India since 2015. We're perhaps amongst, let's say, the first large companies to adopt the Prime Minister's vision of making in India, and we've gone from strength to strength. Starting with very, very humble means way back in August 2015, today, pretty much all of our smartphones, I'd say 99% of our smartphones plus, right? And I'm saying 99% because maybe in the initial part of some launches, maybe a few units could get imported. To play it safe, I'm saying 99% of smartphones, 100% of our smart televisions is completely made in India. And we didn't stop there. We said, look, it's not just enough to manufacture the phones in India, but we're also going deeper into the supply chain. We are committed to both broadening and deepening even our component ecosystem. As on this day, we have multiple components that we source locally in India. For example, the battery, the charger, the USB cable. And these are very simple stuff, right? And then we went up the value chain to increase local value addition. Today, the camera module is sourced locally. The front and back cover is sourced locally. And we are in advanced conversations to localize our local sourcing of display, of vibrator modules, of the flexible printed cable, and so on. And that's as far as smartphones is concerned. On smart televisions, so we're also sourcing, for example, the remote locally. We are working on sourcing the open cell. Which is a very, very key part of the television that gets sourced locally. It's very easy to do business, but to do business with this kind of social impact, I think very few companies have that opportunity, and we're actually grateful for that opportunity to create that social impact.
So, what about the customer experience? Because being the #1 brand, your customer experience and satisfaction is a very important part. So, how did you guys? You might be having challenges, of course. How did you overcome that?
So, we actually take a lot of pride in being adjudged not by us, but by third-party agencies of being India's best after-sales service brand. We have a network of over 2,000. I think in about 650, 700 cities, towns, and villages, covering 19,000 pin codes. And each of the staff there, the frontline executives, the engineers in the service center, there are thousands of hours of training that's imparted to them. We keep upskilling them because new issues come all the time. And we set very, very high standards. Our CSAT metrics are of 95%. And over 75% of the phones are repaired within 2 hours and handed over to the customers. So as a result of all of this, we've been adjudged by the CMR on-the-go survey for being the #1 quality brand in the 7 to 35,000 segment. They say, hey, look, in terms of overall quality, in terms of loyalty, in terms of willingness to recommend, our Redmi smartphones always come up on top. And if there is one Redmi smartphone which truly stands out, no doubt it is the Redmi Note. You've been tracking, you've been reviewing, you've been using the Redmi Note for a very, very long time. And in many ways, Redmi Notes are the default choice.
I think it's a very important product for even Xiaomi. I think so. It's the most important.
It is. it is, right? So that mid-premium segment, which I think in many ways Redmi Note, because of the consistency in delivery, right? It's an all-rounder. It's very difficult to argue saying, hey, this specific aspect of the phone is a shortcoming. It just has all the boxes ticked off, and it's become the default recommendation saying, hey, anywhere between 15 to 20,000, what phone would you want? Hey, get the latest Redmi Note. And it's great to see the legacy that's built out over all of these years. What, 70 plus million phones shipped in India? I think that's a crazy number. 7 crore.
That's
Note.
Crore. That's Note series.
It's just the Redmi Note in India.
Oh, okay.
Right?
That's a big number.
So out of 200 plus million that we have shipped till date, 70 plus million is the Redmi Note just in India. And I think it's a testament to our ability to deliver innovation for everyone. If there's one example, maybe someday case studies would be written on the Redmi Note. But yeah, this is something that is super exciting for us.
Very interesting. So it'll be a big challenge for the next Note series to satisfy users, because expectations of users will also be
absolutely
pretty high, I guess.
Absolutely. And if you look at the Note 10, Note 11 series with the 120Hz AMOLED, the 108 megapixel camera, the 67 watt turbocharge in the Note 11 Pro Plus 5G. Exciting stuff. But the 120Hz AMOLED, I think that just takes the cake. It's such a delightful visual experience.
Introduced in that price segment, and others had to follow eventually.
Yeah. And I don't know whether you've had the opportunity to visit some of our factories. Maybe you should soon.
I haven't, but I've heard that in your factories, most of the force that's actually manufacturing and assembling the smartphone is female force.
It is, and that's another factor which fills us with pride. More than 95% of the shop floor workforce that you will see in our factories are women. I hope you get the opportunity to visit our factory at the earliest. And see this for yourself.
I would love to go there and experience it for myself.
My personal invitation for you, please be our guest.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi guys, so finally I'm ready. As you can see, I'm at the Xiaomi's facility, and I'm also actually pretty excited because this is the first time I'm actually visiting a smartphone factory, and I have my good friend Sandeep from Xiaomi. Who's going to explain us, and you're going to take me inside and we'll have a look.
Yes, I think before we get started, I heard this is your first time. That's kind of unbelievable, but really, really excited because we have so much things to show you. And I think a few interesting facts. Did you know that over 99% of phones that we manufacture are made in India? And out of that, most of them are made in this particular facility, including your favorite Redmi Note series devices. Yeah, so very, very interesting things. Let's go right ahead.
And it's the complete, I think so, from the complete phone is manufactured here, right?
End to end, everything is manufactured.
So let's go. Come.
So let's go. So I'd like to start by showing one process while really simplifying it. Basically, to start the screen, and this bonding with the chassis of the smartphone itself. This is an 8-hour long process, so we have to wait for that.
Oh my god. So I could say this is the birth of the smartphone, right?
Yes, it is.
But one interesting thing that I'm noticing is you're wearing this fancy gloves. What is this?
So I'm not chopping vegetables, but rather this is an EPA zone, which is electrostatic protected area.
And I think that's why we are also dressed like this.
Precisely. So that's why the entire outfit and everyone on the shop floor is following the same etiquette. So I think let's not wait for 8 hours. I was just kidding.
Please.
Let's go into the production line.
Next line. So Sandeep, looks like the main boards are over here. Am I right?
Let me actually show this to you. So this is basically the PCBA. In fact, you can hold it with your right hand. So this is basically what makes the magic happen now.
The main board,
So here we attach this to the chassis that was previously bonded. From there we also attach the camera.
Camera lenses I can look at,
So you attach the camera, and there's also press fit basically happening there with the machine. So that ensures the right amount of force is applied. Too much and you can break it, you can crack it once. And I think something that you will find very interesting here, which is the thermal glue and the application. Yes, basically heat dissipation, right? So what is used to control the heat or control the thermals?
The machine is cool, actually.
And it's a machine because the right amount is needed. If you go too much also, people don't often realize it's not good. So the right amount, and it's precisely measured for every smartphone. There's a different requirement for different smartphones based on the thermal requirements, and this is measured for this particular smartphone on this assembly line, and it dispenses exactly that amount of thermal.
Interesting. Okay, Sandeep, why is this room closed and what are they doing exactly here?
That's a very interesting question and possibly my favorite aspect of a smartphone, the cameras.
Okay.
The cameras are assembled here. So if there's dust, any bit of dust,
Obviously,
it gets magnified and it spoils the camera experience. So this is a dust-free zone. No dirt, no dust.
Clean room.
They
Clean
also
room.
have these beautiful magnifying glass.
Okay.
We need that much precision when applying the cameras onto the smartphone itself.
Okay,
So
got it.
free from dust, very clean.
I guess we can't go inside because we'll make it.
They're all wondering what we are up to today.
So like,
And here, this is an automated machine which is actually screwing in and ensuring that everything is
on the
perfect fit.
on the components, okay.
Now, why is it automated? Very simple, because I think that precision is needed.
Okay.
It becomes a very time-consuming process if it's manual.
And I think so perfect torque and everything will be there.
That is also very important. Too
Okay.
much of it can actually damage your
Okay, so
smartphone.
here it's done.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So now we are ending
So-
or nearing the completion.
The smartphone is almost done here.
Almost done, yes. So here we apply the IMEI sticker.
Okay.
Then we have the finishing touches, which is basically your
They're doing some
fingerprint
tests
scanner.
again here also.
Yes.
I've noticed that they're doing testing after every few.
We have automated testing.
Okay.
Plus we have manual testing.
Okay.
Because just to be double sure that there's nothing wrong with the phone.
Okay.
So we also have a fingerprint scanner we are attaching here, as well as the final,
Oh, okay.
the back panel or the back plate itself.
Okay.
Now, technically, the smartphone is ready,
Okay.
but we are not shipping it out just yet.
So what do you do?
We have quality checks in place to ensure
Okay.
that every unit that we're sending out actually works perfectly well.
Okay.
So I think that's the next.
Let's
and
go there.
possibly very
Interesting. Yeah,
aspect.
let's go there. Let's
Let's
go
go there. So what we saw in there was basically a display aging test.
Okay.
To test burn-in and stuff like that.
Okay.
We do it over a period of 6 hours.
Okay.
We test multiple things, videos, games.
Yeah, I
etc.
saw that. Like,
Correct.
so multiple things were running, and so this is like a stress test also.
Yes.
You could say.
So burn-in, I think, is a big issue usually, especially
Okay.
for OLED.
Okay.
So we are making sure that there's no burn-in here.
Okay.
And we are also testing up to 120,000 devices a day.
Yeah, I saw
That is a big
racks and racks.
So
Like,
each rack has 300 on one side, 300 on the other side.
Okay.
And 600 each, and multiple racks. So 120,000 is the capacity across 4 different ships.
okay.
Yeah.
So every device that is being manufactured here
Yes.
goes here and it has to pass,
It
right?
has to pass, absolutely. Without that, it's not going into any box.
Okay.
It's not being shipped out of here. That's
Okay.
how we do it here.
Very interesting. I would like to have a small charging rack.
I don't know if you have more devices or we have more devices here. That is the one thing we need
Pretty
to figure out.
impressive, but
Yes.
so Sandeep, what about RF testing? That's 3G, 4G, 5G, and all this. Do you test all that also here in this facility?
Yes, of course. So basically what you see here is
Okay.
5G equipment. So all the RF, like you mentioned, 3G, 4G, 5G, GPS, Wi-Fi, etc. is
Okay.
tested here basically.
Yeah, I can see the monitor here.
Correct,
Okay.
So this is doing all the tests sequentially in an automated manner
Okay.
to ensure that every single thing passes the quality check.
Yeah. Interesting.
So all the smartphones in India, basically due to the different climatic conditions we have across different states, different regions, we have corrosion-free ports to ensure there is no wear and tear, especially due to humidity, etc., moisture. So similarly, this machine
Okay.
is actually a dry chamber. You put our phones in here for 2 hours to suck out all the moisture.
Okay,
to
dry it
prevent
out.
any damage. So it will be very little bit of moisture, but it can still affect appliances. Then we put it in this machine. which
Nano
is repellent
Nano
nano
coating. Okay.
Once this is done, we also do a test to ensure that the coating actually has been applied successfully.
Okay.
And after that, only it goes to the next step.
So
next series of
So this nano coating is making it water repellent.
water repellent. So any accidental flashes and things like that, your phone is perfectly safe.
This is done across all models of the smartphones.
Yeah, so it depends, not everything, but most of the smartphones we have a water repellent.
Okay, nano coating.
Yes, perfect. So after all those tests, including
Okay.
some which we don't have the time for today, we basically come here where everything is pre-delivery inspected,
Okay.
sealed and packed.
So this is ready to go now.
It's ready to go.
Okay,
So
cool.
now all these phones are quality checked.
Okay.
They are 100% made in India,
Okay.
and now they're going
Then
out
go-
everywhere where it's required.
Oh, cool.
So how was your experience overall? Hope you enjoyed it.
Overall, I was impressed with it, and thank you, Sandeep and the Xiaomi team for making it possible. I also, behind my head, I had a very different perception how a smartphone is built. I thought like there's just 3 or 4 big, what do you say, machine, and you put it in one end, the other comes out. But here it was very different. It was a combination of machines and human power also.
Yes,
And the
yes.
synchronization that I've
Correct. I think it was almost like a song.
so efficient.
Yes,
That
very
was the thing.
very-
The entire line it
Yeah.
was moving. It never got stuck.
Correct. I think that's very difficult to do. I think a lot of training goes into it and a lot of practice. And I think sometimes we often overlook just how much effort goes into it. You get a phone in your hand, you just think it just comes, but actually a lot of effort from a lot of people involved in this. And I think
I noticed that there was a lot of testing also done, and in the middle also a lot of manually also they were inspecting.
Correct.
So a lot of things behind the scene, and I hope you guys also had an insight how it goes about.
Yes.
So again,
Thank you.
I also like the fact that Xiaomi is employing so many people. In
Correct.
fact, a lot of women workforce. You said over
95% here, over 95%. Yeah. So yeah, thank you. It was great having you.
And
Yes.
again, thanks, sir.
Yes.
And I hope you guys also had a good idea of what goes behind a smartphone. And just want to thank the Xiaomi team for allowing us to shoot here.
Most welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.